a 20-foot wide, 36-foot greenhouse out of Home Depot for less than $2,000. That's unheard of.
Tell me about the price structure of this. $2,000 for a bed like this. What's the main cost?
Labor.
But materials is $2,000, no?
Yeah, you're looking at the pond liners. You're looking at $200 with the pond liner. I'd say the R board was the most expensive. And in fact, I'm only using 3/4 inch, which I don't recommend. If you notice, the water can bubble where your air stones are. The water can actually bubble up and over 3/4 inch. Even if you have a net pot in there, it'll still bubble up through the net pot. If you had 2 inches of styrofoam, your net pot literally isn't even down in the water. He's hanging above it, the roots hang down in the water, and there's no way for the bubbles to get up through the water. That would cut out all this algae growth you see everywhere. More algae means more fungus gnats. More fungus gnats, just more problems. They're disease vectors and whatnot.
You want to
so
show me
really,
what fungus gnats are over there?
Yeah, I can show you some fungus gnats. Oh yeah, watch your step. This place was originally built to be a hydroponic farm and not aquaponic. It was all NFT with the tank in the ground and the IntelliDoser on the wall. Everything automated. Call you if you had any trouble. Blah blah blah. I discovered aquaponics and all that crap went out the window. So this is actually a retrofit aquaponics facility. My next place will be designed, built, everything about it's purely aquaponics related. This is my fingerling tank. I used to have a couple hundred in there. I've had a huge run on fish lately. There's more people interested in aquaponics this year than ever before. By the way, here's my home-built heater out of an electric water heater element. Get this bell siphon to stop. Get this to stop, and then we can see what's going on in there. So you'll see it's just the 2,000 watt element from Home Depot, water heater element. You go through wall with a uniseal, and voila.
Tell me about the uniseal.
Uniseals are a great alternative to an expensive bulkhead. They're cheap and easy. They're just not readily available. So if you order some online, order more than you need because you'll eventually decide you need more. Or some of your more well-equipped, well-stocked hydroponic shops such as Bright Ideas on South Congress in Austin, Texas.
How do you take that off?
They're my sponsors, so I have to plug them as much as possible. And there's just, this is a 1-inch thread, so you need a 1.5 inch to 1 inch thread going through a 1-inch uniseal.
Is the uniseal threaded or?
The uniseal is just a piece of rubber that when you shove the pipe inside of it, it expands to create the water tightness. Now they're only good for up to about 40 psi, so you wouldn't use them under pressure. But in aquaculture, when we're doing all these through-wall applications for fish tanks, they work great, and they're cheap.
You could do it like about three feet of water or something.
Oh, it takes a lot of water to create 40 psi. Actually,
what's per foot for psi? Isn't it like 10 or no? No.
It's like 14 bar per foot or something, but then it grows exponentially the deeper the water gets. So, don't ask me. I know.
Uniseal, okay.
I can say this: for all the applications that I would ever use, I would never exceed that 40 psi. So they work great for me, and I'm sure they would for you too. But you hook that up to a cheap $49 thermostat, and voila, you've got a $700 heater for $90. I'll show you what one looks like over here.
Ranco.
A little 120-gallon system. Full of Mozambique tilapia. Out of food. Once again, you can't really see them. But here's your standard filtration necessary for a raft. You go through a separator that keeps the solids on the bottom. It comes through this mineralization tank. This catches the solids that would make it through that. And this would be a degasser if you had it set up, and it would gas off any of the bad CO2s and whatnot. This runs through the raft, runs back to the sump, runs back to the tank.